So welcome to this video series on aptitude presented by Mentors for IAS in association with Bangalore IAS Academy and Namak APSC. So in this particular session, we will be discussing problems on numbers. Now, in this particular topic, questions will involve a set of numbers which are put in the form of a puzzle. So, what will happen is you'll have to analyze the given conditions, assume the unknown numbers and form equations accordingly, which on solving will yield the unknown numbers. Now, problems from this particular topic or of this kind are not very popular, and it is unlikely that you will get many questions in your civil services examination. However, it is possible that you might or you may get a problem or two, but it is also possible that you might not get any problem at all. Also, I want you to know that there is no particular method, formula, or type to solve the problems, that is, problems based on numbers. And if you solve one question, it does not mean that you will also be able to solve the next question or other questions. To get better at this particular topic, the only option is that you have to solve more and more questions. There is no other option, there is no other way. But at the same time, this is not a very difficult topic. Unlike your number series, problems on numbers is actually simpler. Again, as long as you understand, I always mention it is important that you understand how the problems are solved. So this topic not being very important, I'll not solve too many problems from this particular topic. So we'll try and wrap up this particular concept in a single session. Also, these problems do not take too much of time. These are very simple problems. If you understand, you should actually be lucky to get problems from this particular concept or this particular topic. So what we'll do is we'll now start with our first problem. Okay, now look here. Now this is the first question. Now the first question says the difference between a number and its 3/5 is 50. Therefore, what is the number? Now, obviously, most of the questions of this type can be solved from the options itself, meaning backwards. Instead of going from the question to the options, you can work your way around and move from the options to the question. So you can take 75, you can take 100, you can take 125 and check if this actually agrees, if this particular number from the options actually satisfies the conditions which are actually mentioned in the question. This is one way. I'm hoping that this you should be able to do it by yourself. However, what I will be doing is I will be teaching you how to solve this particular question and then arrive at the correct answer, based on which you should be able to mark the correct option instead of working your way around it. So this is fine. So the first question, once again, the difference between a number and its 3/5 is 50. Therefore, what is the number? It's a very simple question. So what will happen is, here we will generally always assume the number to be x. So I'm going to say, let the number that we have to identify or determine, let the number be x. Let the number be x. So the question is saying the difference between the number, that is x for us, and its 3/5. And its 3/5. 3/5 is what? 3 by 5 times of x. The difference between x and 3/5 of x is 50. So what will I do? I will write x minus 3 by 5 times of x should be equal to 50. What do we do now? We will solve for x. We will solve for x. So we have 5x minus LCM. So 5x minus 3x divided by 5 is equal to 50. 5x minus 3x is 2x. I take 5 to the right hand side. What do we get? We get 5 5s are 25, which is nothing but 250. Therefore, x is what? 250 by 2, which is equal to 125. Therefore, the correct answer is 125. The correct option is 125. See here, you should also be able to work your way behind, you should also be able to go in the opposite direction. So you'll have to check. You'll have to take 125 and then 3/5 of 125. You'll have to check, will you get 50? You'll have to check this. So what can we do? We can take 125 minus 3 divided by 5 into 125. So we cancel this out. What do we get? 5 2s are 10, 2 5 25. So it is nothing but 125 minus 3 into 25 is 75. 125 minus 75 is obviously 50. So yes, we should be able to mark or get the correct answer. You will not be able to do this with 75 or 100. You will not get 50. So you can check with A, B and C, or if you do not get it with A, B and C, then obviously it is none of the above. So now let us move on to the next question, question number 2. Now question number 2 says, if 1/3 of 1/4 of a number is 15, then 3/10 of that number is what? What is 3/10 of that number? So what do we want? We will once again assume, let the number be x. Once we determine the value of x, we have to take the 3/10 of x. The 3/10 of x should be in the options. That should be your answer. So now what is the question saying? The question is saying 1/3 of the 1/4 of a number is equal to 15. Meaning, if the number is x, 1/4 of x and 1/3 of 1/4 of x. See here, 1/4 of x, 1/3 of 1/4 of x. This is equal to 15. This is equal to 15. So what will happen when I open the bracket? 1/3 into 1/4 into x is equal to 15, or 3 4s are 12. X by 12 is equal to 15. Therefore, x is what? 12 into 15. 15 tens is 150. 150 plus 30 is nothing but 180. Therefore, x is 180. Okay, but the 180 is not the answer. What is the question asking for? Question is asking for 3/10 of 180. So what is 3/10 of 180? 3 by 10 into 180. 10 tens are 10 18s are 180. So here it is nothing but 3 into 18. 3 into 18. 18 3s is what? 18 3s is nothing but 54. Therefore, the correct answer is 54. The correct option is D, 54. So it is 54. Now let us move on to the third question. Now the third question is, a number is doubled and 9 is added to it. A number is doubled and 9 is added to it. If the resultant is tripled, it becomes 75. If the resultant is tripled, it becomes 75. What is that number? Again, let that number be x. We'll assume that let the number be x. So a number is doubled and 9 is added. What do you mean by doubled? 2 times. So you take 2x and then add 9 to it. So it is 2x plus 9. If the resultant is tripled, it becomes 75. What do you mean by it becomes tripled? So if it is 2x plus 9, it is 3 into 2x plus 9 is equal to 75. 3 into 2x plus 9 is equal to 75. Therefore, 2x plus 9 is equal to what? It is equal to 75 by 3. It is equal to 75 by 3. So 325 is 75. What are we left with? We are left with 2x plus 9. 2x plus 9 is equal to 25. I take 9 to the other side. We have 2x is equal to 25 minus 9, or x is equal to 25 minus 9 is 16. 16 divided by 2. Therefore, x is equal to 8. Therefore, the correct answer is 8. The correct option is option C. What we are looking for is option C. So it is answer 8. Next question. Question number 4. Now, question number 4 says, when 24 is subtracted from a number, it reduces to its 4/7. When 24 is subtracted from a number, it reduces to its 4/7. So what is the sum of the digits of that number? Okay, so again, let the number be x. So x in this case should be at least a 2-digit number, So what will happen is, we take x and we subtract 24 from x. When we subtract 24 from x, this becomes equal to 4/7 of x. It becomes equal to 4/7 of x. So now what we will do is, I'll take 4/7x to the left hand side, I'll take 24 to the right hand side. So we have x minus 4/7x is equal to 24. So it is 7x minus 4x by 7 is equal to 24, or 3x is equal to 24 into 7. 3 8s are 24. Therefore, x is equal to what? 8 into 7. 7 8s are 56. Therefore, the correct, the number that we are searching for is 56. However, what is the question asking for? Question is asking for what is the sum of the digits of that number. What is it? It is 5 plus 6. It is 5 plus 6, which is equal to 11. 5 plus 6 is nothing but 11. Therefore, the correct answer is 11. The correct option is option C. It is option C, that is 11. So we'll move on to the next question now. Question number 5. Now, question number 5 says, the sum of the squares of three numbers is 138, while the sum of their products taken two at a time is 131. So here what the question is saying is, now there are three numbers. So I'm going to assume the three numbers to be x, y and z. Okay. So the sum of the squares of three numbers is equal to 138, meaning what? X square plus y square plus z square is equal to 138. The sum of the squares of three numbers is what? It is equal to 138. The question further says, well, the sum of their products taken two at a time is equal to 131. Sum of their products taken two at a time. Two at a time meaning out of three, two will be taken at a time. Meaning xy, see, two at a time, products of two at a time, xy plus yz plus xz. This, their sum, the sum of their products, this is equal to 131. This is equal to 131. So now the question is asking for what? The question wants what is x plus y plus z. What is it? Now, in order to solve this particular problem, I would actually say that you should have been in touch with aptitude, because obviously if you're not in touch with aptitude, if you're not in touch with mathematics, you would have forgotten many things. So let me try to refresh your memory. Now see, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what is a plus b whole square. A square plus 2ab plus b square, correct? This is nothing but your a plus b square. Similarly, in your school or college, you would have come across a plus b plus c whole square. A plus b plus c whole square. So what is a plus b plus c whole square? A plus b plus c whole square is nothing but a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ac. This is what your formula is. A plus b plus c whole square is equal to. So now if you look at this particular formula over here, can I write this as a square plus b square plus c square plus 2 into ab plus bc plus ac, correct? Now what if I represent a, b and c instead of a, b and c, what if I represent it in terms of x, y and z? So can I write it as x, y plus z whole square is equal to x square plus y square plus z square plus 2 into xy plus zy plus xz. Now look here, what is the question asking for? Question is asking for xy plus z. What is x square plus y square plus z square? Nothing but 138. Here look at this, xy plus zy plus xz. What is its value? It is nothing but 131. Therefore, x plus y plus z whole square is equal to 138 plus 2 into 131. What is it? 138 plus 262. So this amounts to 8 plus 2, 10, 6, 1, 7, 7 plus 3, 10, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 2, 4. Therefore, x plus y plus z whole square is equal to 400. What is the question asking for? Question is asking for x plus y plus z. So what will we do? We will take its root. We will take its root. So if x plus y plus z whole square is equal to 400, then what is x plus y plus z? Nothing but root of 400, which is equal to 20. Therefore, their sum, the sum of the three numbers is what? X plus y plus z. It is equal to 20. The correct answer is 20. The correct option is 20. Okay, so I hope this is clear to you. Let us solve one more question. We have question number 6 over here. Now, question number 6 says the sum of three numbers is 136. If the ratio between the first and the second be 2:3 and that between second and third is 5:3, then the second number is what? So the question here is the sum of three numbers is 136. So let me assume the three numbers to be x, y and z. Let me assume the three numbers to be x, y and z. So now the question is saying the sum of the three numbers is equal to 136. So what is it? I'll take x plus y plus z. X plus y plus z is equal to 136. It is equal to 136. Now the question further says if the ratio between the first and the second be 2:3. What are the first two numbers? This is 1, 2 and 3. Okay. So if the ratio between the first and the second, meaning what? X and y. If the ratio between x and y is equal to 2/3 and the ratio between the second and the third, that is y is to z, is 5/3, what is the second number? So we have to determine the value of y. Over here. So look here, we have x, y, z, the sum of all three numbers equal to 136. We want y. So what can we do? We can substitute for x and z in terms of y from this relationship. Can't we? See, for example, over here it says x by y is equal to 2/3. Can I write it as x is equal to 2/3y? Yes, I'm taking y to the right hand side. Similarly, in this particular case, if you look here, can I write z is equal to 3y by 5? Z is equal to 3y by 5. I'm taking z to the right hand side over here, 3 and 5 to the left hand side over here. So I have z is equal to 3y by 5. So now I will substitute x and z in terms of y in this particular relation over here. So what do we get when we do that? X is what? 2/3y plus y itself plus z is what? 3y by 5, which is equal to 136. So now we have to take the LCM. LCM is what? Nothing but 15. LCM is nothing but 15. So, so over here, what do we get? We get 15. We take LCM as 15. So 3 5s are 15. 3 5s are 15. So 5 2s are 10y plus 1 15s are 15. So 15y plus 5 3s are 15. So it is 3 into 3. 9y is equal to 136. So what do we get here? 10 plus 15. 10 plus 15 is what? It is 25. 25 plus 9 is 34. Therefore 34y is equal to 136 into 136 into 15. 136 into 15. So two 17s are 34. This is 2 6 are 12. 1 carry 2 8s are 16. 2 8s are 16. Correct? So now here 17 ones are, this should be 17 fours are, correct? Yes, 17 fours are is 68. 4 7 28, 4 2, correct, it is 68. Therefore y is what? 4 into 15. 15 fours are, it is nothing but 60. Therefore the correct answer of question number 6 is 60. The correct option is option number C. The correct answer is 60. So I hope you are actually following this. More or less all these problems are a bit similar. Again, you'll have to assume all these numbers to be x, y, z or a, b, c or whatever it is. Try to solve, try to find out the number. This is actually very simple as long as you understand. So it is all about understanding the question, assuming the numbers and forming the required relationship correctly. So if you've understood the sixth problem, let us now move on to the seventh problem. Now question number 7 says, of the three numbers, the sum of the first two is 45. Of the three numbers, the sum of the first two is 45. The sum of the second and the third is 55. The sum of the second and third is 55, and the sum of the third and thrice the first is 90. So what is the third number? What do we do now? Once again, we will assume the three numbers to be x, y and z. X, y and z. So let this be the first number, let this be the second number, and let this be the third number. So we have three numbers now, that is nothing but x, y and z. Now the question is saying, of the three numbers, the sum of the first two is 45. Meaning what? The sum of x plus y is equal to 45. The sum of x plus y is equal to 45. Next, the question further says, the sum of the second and third, that is y and z. The sum of the second and third, that is y and z, is equal to 55. This is equal to 55. The question further says, and the sum of the third, that is z, the sum of the third, that is z, and thrice the first, meaning three times the first. What is that? 3 times x. 3 times x. This is equal to 90. Then what is the third number? What is the value of z? What is the value of z? This is what we have to determine. So just like the previous problem, if we want to determine z, what will we do? We will substitute for x and we will substitute for y, so that we are able to determine the value of z. We are able to determine the value of z. So what I will do is, from the first relation, let this be the second one, let this be the third equation. So from the first equation, what I'm going to say is, I'll take x to the right hand side. What do I get? I get y is equal to 45 minus x. I take x to the right hand side, so we get 45 minus x. Now I will substitute for y in the second equation. I'll substitute for y in the second equation. So if I substitute y as 45 minus x, what do we get? We get 45 minus x plus z is equal to 55. I'll take 45 to the other side, to the right hand side. What are we left with? We have z minus x is equal to 55 minus 45, or z minus x is equal to 10. So let this be the fourth equation. So now we have two simultaneous equations. Take equation number 3 and take equation number 4. Now can't we find out the value of z? Of course we can find out the value of z. So we will, instead of eliminating z, we will try and eliminate x. We will eliminate x. So what we will do is, we will multiply the fourth equation by 3. I am going to multiply the fourth equation by 3. So what do we get now? We get 3z minus 3x is equal to 30 is equal to 30. Now I am going to what do we do with 3z? So I'll take here z plus 3x is equal to 90. Okay, now to eliminate, what will we do? We will just add. We will add the third equation and the fourth equation. So what do we get? 3z plus z is 4z minus 3x plus 3x is 0 is equal to 90 plus 30, which is 120. Therefore 4z is equal to 120. Z is what? 120 by 4, it is equal to 30. Therefore the correct option is option C. The correct answer is 30. The correct answer is 30. So if you've understood this, let us move on to the next question. That is question number 8. That is question number 8. So in this particular question over here, we have uh, question number 8 says 50 is divided into two parts. 50 is divided into two parts such that the sum of their reciprocals is 1 by 12. Find the two parts. Find the two parts. Now in the previous question it might have been difficult for you to make use of the options and from the options to determine the answers. However, problems such as this should be very easy for you if you're finding it difficult to understand the problem, if you're finding it if you're finding it difficult to form the relations by reading and understanding the question, you can work your way in the opposite direction and you can make use of the options to find out the answer. So that I'm pretty sure everybody should be able to do, correct? So however, I will solve the problem over here. So now the question is saying you have 50 is divided into two parts. So what will you do? Obviously, let us assume the two parts to be x and y. Let us assume the two parts to be x and y such that x plus y is equal to 50. You can check here if there is any option where x plus 5 is not equal to 50, you can straight away cancel it. However, if you look at this particular, if you look at all the options over here, A, B and C, all of them, they do sum up to be 50. So all the options could be possible. So now x plus y is obviously 50. Now the question further says such that is divided into two parts such that the sum of the reciprocals is equal to 1 by 12. Meaning what? You take the reciprocals of the two parts x and y and then when you add them, this is equal to 12. This is equal to 1 by 12. So now you have to check. So here what you can do is you can take 24, 26, 25, 25, 10, 40 and 20 and 30 and then you can check if the reciprocals of if when you take the reciprocal, then when you add them, is it equal to 1 by 12 or not, because this condition has already been satisfied. So here what, coming back to what we were doing, so what will we do? We will take the LCM. We'll take the LCM. So we have y plus x divided by x into y is equal to 1 by 12. Therefore, taking 12 to the left hand side, we have 12 into x plus y is equal to xy is equal to xy. Now here take x plus y. What is x plus y? X plus y is nothing but 50. So I will substitute x plus y as 50. Here we have x and y. Here we have x and y. So now what I will do is I will substitute for x. I will substitute for x. Let x be 50 minus y. So now I will substitute x as 50 minus y over here. So what do we get? We get 50 minus y into y. So 12 5s are 60, 600 is equal to 50y minus y square, or taking all to the left hand side, we get we get y square minus 50y plus 600 is equal to 0. Now this is a quadratic equation and we need the value for y. Now based on some of the quadratic equations that we have solved earlier, what do? We take the product a and c, which is nothing but 1 into 600. So now I will represent 600 in terms of its prime numbers. How can we do that? it is 2 into 3 into 10 into 10, correct? 10 tens are 100, 100 into 6 is 600. This is nothing but 2 into 3 into 2 into 5 into 2 into 5. 2 into 5. So now we have to check. We have to check how can we represent it in such a way such that the sum is equal to 50 and the product is equal to 600. So if you take here 5 2s is 10, 5 2s is 10. Now see here, 10 2s are 20, 10 3s are 30. So can I write it as 20 and 30? Correct? 20 and 30. See, 20 plus 30 is 50. 20 into 30 is what? It is 600. So we'll break it up as 20 and 30. So writing it over here, I will write the quadratic equation as y square minus 30y minus 20y plus 600 is equal to 0. See, 30 plus 20 minus 30 minus 20 is nothing but minus 50. Minus 30 into minus 20 minus minus gets cancelled, you get 600. So this is value. Now I'll take y common out. So I have y minus 30, y minus 30 and minus 20 over here. This is equal to 0. Now I will take y minus 30 common out. So what am I left with? I have y minus 20 and y minus 30 is equal to 0. Therefore, y is equal to 20 or y is equal to 30. Meaning, if y is 20, what is x? X is nothing but 50 minus 20, it has to be 30. Or if y is 30, x is what? X is nothing but 50 minus 30, it is equal to 20. So the two numbers x and y, they are 20 and 30. Either one of them, they are 20 and 30. Therefore, obviously the correct option is option D. The correct answer is 20 and 30. It is nothing but option D. Next question, question number 9. Now this is a part of your data sufficiency. It is a part of your data sufficiency. Now look here. Now the question is saying, what is the two-digit number? So we have to determine the two-digit number from the two statements. Now statement 1 says the difference between the two digits is 9. So obviously we'll again take the two digits to be x and y. Then x minus y is equal to 9. Now the question also says the sum of the digits is equal to the difference between the two digits. The sum from the second statement, from the sum of the two digits is equal to the difference between the two digits. See, obviously from the first statement it is not able to determine the two-digit number. Now the second statement says the sum of the two digits is equal to the difference between the two digits. So if x plus y is equal to x minus y, then obviously x plus y is also equal to 9. So now what we will do, we now have two equations. X minus y is equal to 9, x plus y is also equal to 9. So now I will add the two equations. So what do we get here? 2x, y minus y gets cancelled, plus 0 is equal to 18. Sorry, it is 18. X is what? 18 by 2, it is equal to 9. Therefore the value of x is what? It is 9. If x is 9, I'm going to substitute it over here. If x is 9, 9 minus y is equal to 9. I take y to the other side and I bring 9 to the other side. 9 minus 9 is equal to y. Therefore, y is equal to 0. So, if x is equal to 9 and y is equal to 0, what is the two-digit number? It is nothing but 90. It is nothing but 90. Is this condition satisfied? 9 minus 0, what is it? Obviously 9. Is this condition satisfied? 9 plus 0 is 9. Therefore, the two-digit number is 90. We will require the information contained in both the statements to determine its correct answer. Okay. So this completes our 9th question. So it is both 1 and 2. So here there are 4 practice questions for you to follow. Now this should be very simple for you if you've understood how to solve them. Please do solve them. The answers for these 4 questions will be posted in the comment section. If you do have any doubt, please do write to us in the comment section as well. So if you did like this particular video, if you want more such videos, please do subscribe, please do follow us for more such videos. So thank you very much. Please do work hard.